participant in the ninth week. In this week, we are also going to discuss about the social action. As in the eighth week, we have discussed it. We further have to take it this topic. So here in this whole week, we are going to discuss about the social action as a method of social work, social action and social reform, social action in the Indian context adapted from the John Samuel, evolution of social action in India, how it has been changes, overall its picture, radical social work as given by the Saul Alinsky and Paul Ferrero's method, process of social action, and then scope of social action in India. Let's start with the first topic, that is social action as a method of social work, where we find the how we actually identify the social action as an important method of social work. So, the question is again here is why we consider social action as a method of professional social work. So as a method of professional social work is that it's anything, any method is must have some kind of a technique or approach or having certain kind of the characteristic, like an establishment of process with easily recognizable stages and then steps based on the philosophy of social work, that is the human rights, social justice and all, having principles or guidelines or some kind of the theory building, having some kind of the skills, specific skill requirement, uh, particularly working for the people and with the people in the social action event, which are learned and refined through some professional guidance. So let us view some social action with these on these parameter, how or we can say that social action as a method of social work. So, as social action, as the any other method of social work, be it casework, group work, community organization, it is also having a very defined process and stage, right? So, social action process more or less passes through the recognizable and systematic stages that we have already discussed. It is also a method of social work that it adheres to the philosophy of professional social work, that is the human rights, social justice, so and so forth. It does not blame the people for the deficiency or the problem, rather working with and to the solution, or to bring the solution for those problems. Means non-judgmental. We are always follow the non-judgmental attitude towards our client and clientele. Then sub principles, as in the community organization, casework, group work, the community social action is also having very specified principles to be followed by the social worker or professional social worker. It also having certain very specified goals and objective. So social action has a defined set of goals and objective. The goal of social action is redistribution with regard to the resources and power to provide social justice to all. Strategies and tactics. So social action employs a certain very specified strategies and tactics as tools to attain its goals, which makes it different from other social work methods. They are for example, negotiation, persuasion, competition, disruption, collaboration, bargaining, strikes, boycotts, social mobilization, and so on and so forth. It is also having a very specified skills. So social workers practicing social action as well as works with certain skills that are developed through some training or some teaching, and then through some kind of the experiences they get into the field. It is organized effort. Social action is totally an organized effort to change or improve social and economic institutions as distinguished from other methods of social work, which do not characteristically cover essential changes in the established institution through confrontation with the authorities. So here again, social action, for social action, communities has been defined as the underserved or disadvantaged community for whom the rights or their due space has been required, the system change is required, and then so overall there's a need of the whole structure restructuring of the social structure. So that is could not be done through casework, group work, and even many a time by the community organization. So in such situation, social action actually support in bringing the overall change in the social structure and then social system. So there are some very important aspects which the social action has to be followed as a professional social work method. So advocacy and mobilization. So social action as a method of professional social work practice is an organized effort to change, improve social and economic institutions through organizations and mobilization of the community people. Maybe bringing change into the some schools into the community. There I remember one example where in one village in Bihar where the school teacher did not turn up and did not open the schools many a time. It was so lot of the absenteeism has been done by that by teacher. So the small kids of that area who actually wanted to get education through with the help of some social activist or the local activist, all those children started sitting in front of that teacher's house. So every day they just sit over there, and so to actually giving this kind of the message to the teacher that we are actually wanted to get education, so please do come forward and do give education, that is our right and that is your duty. So through this mobilization by the small kids around one cause, and so finally what happened that the teacher has actually started coming to that school so regularly, and that's overall the education system of that school became much better, because the teacher also saw that the kind of the motivation among the small kids. So he also developed a kind of motivation among them. Otherwise the general things happened, as in many remote rural areas schools is this is the story normal, this is normal reality, that this all happened in the very remote areas of the rural India. So but once the members of the community got realized their rights and others duties, it is once they get mobilized, these resources, this could be possible that they get their own the rights. Next is about the reform. Social action covers movements of social, religious, and political reforms, social legislations, racial and social justice, human rights, freedom, and civic liberty. So these are the areas which are the concern for the social action. Previously, social action was considered as a tool within the field of community organization, but now it has been considered as a separate technique of social work, and as such as fourth process of the community of the social work. It also concerned for the equity. The goal of the social action is redistribution with regard to the resources and power to provide social justice to all. Its objective is the proper shaping and development of the socio-cultural environment in which a richer and fuller life may be possible for all the citizens. We talk many times in the community organization aspect of the person in environment. So if the environment is not conducive, it's not good for the overall for the individual cannot strive better, it cannot develop better. So for that, environmental modification is required, and that could be through social action, many a time through the social action method. Next is about the empowerment. Social action is also concerned for the empowerment. It aims at prevention of needs, solution of mass problem, improvement in the mass conditions, influencing institution, policies, and practices in doing so, and introduction of new mechanism or programs if it is required, redistribution of the power, resources like the human material, non-material, morality, and improvement in the health, education, and welfare, which has been required by the community if it has been given to them. So the community considered and community feel the kind of empowerment. Next is about the inclusivity. So again, this is very fundamental philosophical and ethics of the social work profession. So bring inclusivity and to include everyone into the loop of the development. So as a method of social work, social action adheres to this philosophy of professional social work. It's strongly believe in the worth and dignity of human being. Social action rejects the doctrine of laissez-faire and survival for the fittest, because everyone have the right to survive. It's not only the who is fit, who is having all the authorities is the only right to survive. Anyone being human have the right to survive. So the unfit person has the same fundamental rights as do the more fit. So, and the rich or powerful is not necessarily fit, and nor a poor or weak is indeed unfit. So here, this inclusivity is considered as an important philosophy of social work, which been taken so seriously by the social action. Mobilization, it adopts commitment to the capacity of all people to take action to improve their life circumstances. It grounds this action on a process of open participation in which people, preferably collectively, explore the underlying social issues of their life situation as the foundation for actions. So this mobilization could be possible through the commitment of the capacity building, collective action for the improvement, open participation, exploring underlying social issues, foundation for action. So through mobilization we can do that, or vice versa, through these we can actually mobilize the community. Activism is the center of the social action. Social action actually employs certain strategies and tactics as tools to attain its goals, which makes it different from other social work methods. Here it's mainly about the activism, which no other method is so much actually advocated. So there are negotiation, persuasion, competition, disruption, collaboration, bargaining, strike, boycotts, fast refusal, sit-in, picketing, marches, fraternization, haunting, leafleting, reversal strike, obstruction, renouncing honors, etc. So there are a lot of the tools has been followed in the social action. Campaigning, policy making. Another aim of social action, which has been mentioned by many social work scholars, is formulating for changes existing social legislation. Once the legislation comes into force, its implementing at the ground level is another salient task of the social actionist or social workers. So, campaigning for the policy making, bringing modification as policy, implementation of the policy is very important approach of the social action or the means and end of the social action. Next is about the revolution, reform, and renewal are the core center of the social action aspect. Thus, we see that social action as a method of social work profession is a powerful tool of bringing about positive changes in the social system for the betterment of the masses. This could be possible through some kind of the revolution, sometime reform, sometime renewal of this overall system. Now, the next topic of this today's session or today's lecture is about social action and its relation with other method of social work. Let's take one by one. So, social action is a method of professional social work aimed at solving, social problems through redistribution of power and resources. Its objective is to achieve social justice and empowerment of the community. Social action mobilize the general population to bring about structural changes in the social system. So, I just, again, I have discussed this explanation of social action just to make you clear that these all are the objectives, are the, we could actually done through and with the help of the social action at the time. Sometime you can also go with some casework, some group work, some community organization. So of any method of the social work, these are the some common objective, that is to bring the equality, social human rights, social justice, and and the, environmental modification. So this environmental modification could be done through the social justice. So now coming to the making a relationship, understanding the relationship between different methods of social work. So he started with the casework. So social worker in a casework may help client access the resources like housing or mental health services or any physical health aspects, while also advocating for broader policy changes to improve the overall availability of such services. As we have also seen in the charity organization society, how it takes into account the individual as an important clients where to bring changes into their life, and also bringing change into the overall environment through environmental modification. So that could also through some kind of the community organization and through the social action as well. So community organization, a community may organize to address local environmental hazards. Sometimes social action would help push for legislative changes or to regulate those hazards more effectively, that is going to affect to the at the individual level. So whenever you are actually in your agency, you are dealing with any client and that client belong to some community, and that problem is maybe because of some kind of the structural oriented, or sometime because of some oriented or developed because of the some system dysfunctional aspect. So until you don't bring change into the overall community structure and to bring change into the dysfunctional aspect of the system, you cannot think about the change. You can bring the change into the your client at the very individual level or through your casework. So social action often comprehends casework, although it's not so much close relationship between the casework and social action as in with the group work or community organization. Even though we cannot ignore the fact that we are taking the clients in the casework from their environmental perspective. So where social workers work directly with individuals to address personal and or family problem, social action can create systematic change that help alleviate the root cause of these personal issues. So the relationship of social action with casework can be understood with the fact that individuals and society are interdependent, that we have already discussed. most of the problems which affect the individual has connection with or repercussions to higher interpersonal relations. These interpersonal relations could be within the family or with various institutions in the community, say like education, or be it workplace, or legal, neighborhood, friends group, your peer group, your so it could be anyone. So casework process may involve intervention not only at the family level but also at the institution in the larger community. Moving ahead, the relationship we have to identify between the social action and to the group work. What is group work? So group work is actually considered to be a support group for the domestic, for many issues, like for the health purpose, for the removal of the domestic violence issues, and so even the self-help group. That all this all actually efforts might focus on changing into overall community through this group intervention and entering, and every group work is mainly concerned for the bringing change into the individual's life through groups, right? So group work process on helping individuals within group to improve personal and interpersonal skills. Social action can support group work by addressing collective issues that affect group work members, and vice versa. Group work is so much important for bringing social action into a reality. Social group work acts as a building block in the process of social actions. That's why. So group work learns organization, cooperation and coordination through the different group activities. So they learn within the group interdependence and democratic values that is so important for to carry out the social action. In the group work process, while participating in the activities of the group members learn to live and work together to attain some specific goal. So working together and understanding each other is so important ingredient for social action. So social group work solves adjustment problems and enhance positive interpersonal relation. It prepares individuals to learn and share responsibility in working together. All these factors actually contribute the success of social action taken up for the social cause influencing a large segment of the population. So group work helps so much, or helpful so much helpful in the social action, because for the social action you need to mobilize the community, motivate the community, and this mobilization and motivation could be easy if you started working with some groups available in the community, or you can start developing some groups, active group within a community to actually carry out the social action in the community. Next is about social action and community organization. I mean, these two are considered to be so integrated or closely tied to each other, because community organization is an integral part of social action, and so vice versa. It is a precursor or the pre-requirement to social action. In fact, many of the social work professionals considered social action as an extension of community organization, but many have taken it as a fourth independent method. Community organization, as Ross has defined, as a process by which a community identifies its needs and objectives, order or ranks these needs or objectives, develop the confidence and will to work at those needs or objectives, finds the resources, either it is internal or external, to deal with these needs and objectives, takes action in respect of them, and in doing so extend and develop a kind of cooperative and collaborative attitudes and practice in the community. So developing and having this collaborative and cooperative attitude is the so much important for to carry out the social action. Social action is, that's why is considered to be closely attached with the community organization, right? Because both methods aims to mobilize the communities to address common issues and advocate for change, while community organization focus on building solidarity and participation, whereas social action efforts towards policy or societal change. So if you look into these two, community organization is so much concerned about the means, whereas social action is more concerned about the end. Definitely, that doesn't mean it's not concerned about the means, because many a time means even bring lot of the changes and the gives the sustainable approach, sustainable instinct into the community. Social action shares many similarities with community organization for sure. Some of the techniques used by the both the methods, either it is social action and community organization, may be common, but they differ in their overall approach. Community organization is the process of its, that goes through the coordination of different agencies within a particular area and involves cooperative planning and implementation of social policy relating to that area. And that's only to that particular area or maybe the sub community of that larger community. However, social action as a process is used for tackling issues which area of which are much of wider nature than issues affecting the particular area. If you look into the process and means, so community organization is more concerned about the means, definitely with the goals. Here in the social action, more emphasis is on the end, definitely is concerned about the means as well. And the goal of the community organization is of not of very wide range, but the goal and objective of the social action is of the wide range, is of the of higher degree. Now, next is about social welfare and social action, the relationship between these two. Social welfare is mainly concerned about the management and then planning of and converting the policy into action. So, it is the process by which we apply a professional approach to certain goals and transform social policy into social action. It is the process by which it is the process by which we apply professional approach to certain goals and transform social policy into social action. It is a process of planning, implementing, directing, monitoring, organizing, coordinating, and evaluation of service rendered for the welfare and development of the people. That is the postcom. And through all those methods of welfare or social welfare administration, it will be more easy to administer the social action into the reality. Next, the relationship between social action and social work research. Social work research is the so important method or auxiliary method which is so prerequisite for every of the method, be it casework, group work, community organization, and so to the social action, because it gives the kind of background on which you have to work. It gives you the kind of, you can develop some kind of the anticipation, some kind of a hypothesis that what you can do for the betterment of the community. So it is also gives you backgrounds, it gives you the present status. It's also helpful you to actually anticipate for the future. So social work research plays a very crucial role in social action, serving as a foundational tool for the understanding social problems and driving the affecting change. So also to understanding the problem as well as their factors. Social work research is an integral part of social action. It serves as a tool, not to just to only understand the problems and define social issues, but also to provide the systematic or provide the evidence needed to drive changes. Through systematic study, research actually helps shape social work programs and action, making them more effective, targeted, and responsive to the needs of the affected population. So, social work research systematically examines social issues, helping the identify and define problems through data collection, surveys, case studies, and the interviews. Researchers can highlight the specific challenges faced by the communities, such as the poverty, inequality, discrimination, inadequate healthcare, mental health issues, so and so forth. There are many problems on which we do the research on. After doing the research, we can formulate the problem and we can formulate the solutions, and then accordingly we have to intervene into. So social work research provides a qualitative as well as the quantitative understanding of the magnitude of a problem by measuring how widespread the issue is, the severity of its impact, and which population are most affected. Research helps prioritize those intervention, from where to start, what to start, with whom you have to start first. So research helps in identifying the root cause of the social problem, whether it is economic, inequality, historical marginalization, or cultural attitudes. Understanding the causes helps shape effective intervention. So social work research is very helpful tool in overall any kind of the social action activities.